how are you this afternoon? So, a bit later than normal, but I had a surprise message from a friend who I haven't seen in probably 10 years. Um, we've been in contact, but I haven't actually seen her. So, when I used to travel with the Psychic Expo, she and I quite often sat close to each other and we became good friends. And they were coming down from Townsville and dropped in this morning for a cuppa. So it was so lovely to see Lauren. Haven't seen her in years. I met her daughter, who I've never met, and as I'm looking out of the window now, there is a kingfisher sitting on my washing line. He's just gorgeous. He's got his mouth open. Poor thing. There's plenty of water around that he can drink. But he's just gorgeous. He's just sitting there. And I haven't got my phone in here to take a photo. Bother. Anyway, so hi Daphne, hi Suzanne, hi Sue, hi Kerry. Lovely to see you. Like I said, different time of day, but that's okay. We did go out after they left to try and get the shopping done, but I was short of time by about an hour and a half, so we'll go out again afterwards. Alrighty, my name's Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Fraser Coast area of Queensland. I'm just watching this beautiful bird. It's gorgeous. Sorry, it's just so cute. Anyway, yes, so today, now I am certainly not going to take any accolades over this at all because it definitely is not my idea. I was watching a video by Amanda from Inspired Inken, and if you've never watched her, please do because she's great. You'd probably need to watch her replays because she comes on a Tuesday night at midnight in Australian time, not New South Wales time, but Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it's a late night to watch her, but she did this and I just thought I have to pass it on. So yes, it comes from Amanda from Inspired Inken. So please follow her or go and see what she does. She does some lovely stuff. She's a lovely person. All right, so what are we going to make? Well, we're going to make a bag. Oh, that must have went against something. We're going to make a bag like so, and then for the front of it, we're going to make poinsettias. Let me take that down to the desk if I can find it. There we go. Awesome. So that's what it will look like once we've finished. I've been having a ball with these. The first one I made is this one, and I didn't get it quite right to start with. So then I made that one, and then I made the beautiful yellow one. And I love the yellow one because when I put the ink on it, it really showed up. I think if you can see it there on the things there. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Lovely to see you. Okay, so to start off with, we'll do the bag, and it's really quite simple. All I have to do is remember because I don't know where I put the instructions, but I don't think it's going to be too hard. So 2 pieces of I've chosen on this one I did was cherry cobbler. This one's real red. 2 pieces of that. There's no cutting or anything at all when it comes to this. And then what we're going to do, and I believe, just let me do a quick measure so that I don't give you the wrong information. Yeah. So we score each piece at 2.5, just across the bottom, like that. And then we do the same with this piece. 2.5. All right, so you can see the score lines across there. That's all we need for that. And then for the sides, we need 2 pieces at 3.5 by 5 3/4. So have we got 5 3/4 there? No, we haven't. So just let me grab another piece of, I'm trying to use up all these sorts of papers now because, you know, this one I must admit, and this one's got poinsettias on it, which is really, really cool anyway. So let's do 3.5 by 5 3/4. I'm just hoping I've got these measurements right because, like I said, I can't remember where I put the, so what did I do? Which way do I want it? That way. So 3.5 by 5 3/4. There we go. All right, so all we're going to do with this is we're going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides, so 2 long sides and the bottom. So we're going to come up to the 1/2 inch and we're going to score. We'll do the same here. And then the same this side. So just the 3 sides. And we're going to do that on both pieces. And I've got a fan blowing here, but I had to have something because it's so warm. So which way did I do that? Make sure I do this one the same way. That way. Okay. So 1/2 inch. So how's everybody's day been? It's so hot and humid here at the moment. It's just ridiculous. 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. Okay, I think that might be it for the so all we're going to do with this is we're going to fold it and burnish it. It's funny because I quickly phoned Suzanne because I know we have a habit of doing the same things, and so I thought I'd better message Suzanne or talk to Suzanne. So all we're going to do is stick one of these onto the other down here up to the score line like so, keeping it nice and square, and that's going to form the bottom of the bag. So I'll just put the glue on here. And I'm going to put this on top and take it to the score line, but not over the score line because we still have to be able to bend it there. And just pop that down like that. Oh, yeah, and Suzanne did think of doing it. She, when I said to her, she said, I thought you might. So we often think of doing the same things. I don't know why that's not. It'll be all right. Okay, so then that is the basis of the bag. With these pieces, we're going to fold. So you could have it either way. We could have it with that out or with that out. So I think we'll have the floral outward. So all I'm going to do now is find the bone folder, move that off of the things that are likely to make it dirty, and just fold in these edges. Like we said, there's just the 3 on each piece. thought I'd lost the other piece for a minute then. So how is everyone today? It is beautiful paper, isn't it? So it was lovely to hear that Roz is doing well. Gary let us all know, which was really nice. Okay, so when you look at this, I don't know which way you're going to see it the best. Maybe here. You can see there's a little square there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to cut straight across there. That'll make it easier when we go to tuck it in. So it's just a case of cutting across on the diagonal. Makes it tabs instead of just a piece of square paper. So we'll cut across there and we'll cut across there, and that gives us the little tabs. It is hot, isn't it? It's absolutely, it's telling me it's 31 degrees. I would differ about that. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than 31 degrees. All right, so there's a couple of ways that you can put this in, because it does literally go in like this, as you know, you can imagine. But well, it goes in that way. Or does it? Or does it? No, and I think you need to put it in about 1/2 inch in. So when I did mine, I did it right to the edge, but then I bent the pieces a little bit to fit them in. So what you can do is you can use this here to basically see where you want it to go. So it's about the 1/2 inch mark you're taking it in, and then you're going to do the same on the other side. And as you can see, when you bring that up, it's going to be indented a little bit, which is going to give you, actually I'm going to do it the other way around, but which is going to give us the thing. All right, so I actually did mine right up next to the edge. So you can, what you can do if you want to, is you can get a pen and a pencil and a ruler, and you can literally just mark in. You don't need it all up there, but you can still do it all up there. 1/2 inch there and 1/2 inch there. And you can draw a very faint line, because you can always get rid of this afterwards. And that'll show you where you're going to put this, because it's basically 5 and we'll do 5.5 inches, and that'll give you plenty of space, and it shows you where you can stick it there. Bomb said 34.9. Okay. Yeah, I think it's the humidity, isn't it? It's so humid. We're just going to pop that. Make sure you get it the right way around. So you're going to pop that bit down like that. You're going to pop that bit down like, well, to start with, we're just going to put these two pieces. We're going to stick them up. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put glue along here, just on that 1/2 inch tab. Oh, actually, no. And she didn't do that with glue either. Okay, so I've just done this with glue. When she did hers, she did it with tear and tape. So I think it depends on what you're happier with. And I honestly think that for this part, I would be happier using tear and tape. So I'm going to try and remove that glue. It's not going to make a difference. I just want that off of there. Yeah, so for these pieces, she used the tear and tape, and I actually think that's what I want to do as well. So I totally forgot that when I started. When she did this, I think she put 4 strips on. And then here we just want a strip down here. and a strip down here, and then we want one across the bottom. And this is going to form the tags. So I'll do this one while I've got it here. I'll do this one. Across the bottom. And then the other side. Okay. Oops, don't do that to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this one where I was starting in the beginning, and I'm going to take off that piece of tear and tape there, and I'm going to fold that like that, so you've got it at an angle, and then I'm just going to line that up along that line. No wonder I can't see. That makes a bit of a difference. Along the line that I've just drawn. Okay, so that's that piece. Then I'm going to do exactly the same this side. So I'll do the same. I'll measure the half inch and the half inch. Now, funnily enough, the bag to me was sort of like, yep, it's nice, but I wanted to get into doing the poinsettias. So, all right. So with this one, I'm going to take that strip off, and I'm going to line this up with that line again, making sure that I take it up to that mark there and don't stick there. And that's that one there. All right. Now what we're going to do is this one has to stick here. So I'm going to take the bottom ones off, and I'm going to take this side one off, and the same this side. And I've just remembered something else she did prior to doing this, but that's okay. We will, before she did this, before she started with these, she actually pushed these together and decided where she was going to make her 2 holes. So I'm just going to guesstimate. I'll do it properly, I suppose. Let me see, where'd that put that pencil? So I sort of want about 2.5 inches. So put 1 hole there, and 2.5 inches. So put another hole there. Hang on. There, and it's the width of the ruler. So make it the width of the ruler. And there, that's where we're going to put our 2 holes. Hold that together as best you can and slide in your... Well, I might not. I might just have to do it there because my punch is not going to let me go any further back. So I think I just did it at wherever it came to the other day. Just put your holes in where you need be. I think if you've got one of those, whatever they call them, alligator things, you can get it in further. I can only get it in that far, so that's fine. We've got our holes there. It's easier. Hi, Leslie. How are you? It's easier to do that when before you stick all this down. All right, so now we're going to bring this over, and we're going to put these, they're going to stand upright the same 1/2 inch in, and they will stick there and there, and then we're going to bring the top down on it the same distance, the 1/2 inch, and then reach inside to press that down. Okay, so reach inside to press it down in all the different areas. That one's probably a little bit. And there is your bag. So basically you just put your ribbon through there. I used this red. I don't know if it's still available or not. Oops, I think I've just taken way too much off. And it was just, so you can put whatever you want in there. This makes a lovely little gift bag for somebody. Now you can put a 6x6 panel on the front of whatever, whatever paper you want. And then you can attach that to the front to give you your gift bag. So I'll put that on. Let me cut that. It doesn't have to be 6x6. It can be anything you want. And because I want to use this piece up, I'm going to. So let's do it 5.5 by 5.5, which will give me a panel on the front. We'll pop that on there, like so. And then you can put, I'm not going to actually attach it because I'm going to use these two. Let's see if I can still use that one with that mark on the back. But yeah, that's what it will do. Actually, I prefer it with the smaller bit on the front. And then you can attach your poinsettia. So let's get into making the poinsettias. I'll just show you. Or you can do this however you want. You can either make the two or you can just make one. But basically, it's just a case of threading through both sides there and then keeping it straight on the back and putting that one and that one. Untwist them if you want to. And then you can just tie your bow however you normally tie your bow. You can take it so that it joins. And I'm just doing it this way so that the bow sits and now come down here. Thank you. Doesn't help when I've got the fan blowing on it, does it? But there we go. There's our bow down the front of there. What's that doing there? Oh, I see, it's twisted over. Yeah, there's your bow on the front with your poinsettia, and it's a beautiful gift bag. All right, so that is part one. Part two is making these. So to me, this was the fun bit. I mean, the other bit was fun as well, but this is really fun. So it is better if we use the two-tone paper. Now, the reason that we're using two-tone paper is because it's thinner. It's thinner than our normal paper. If we try to do it with our card, if we tried to do this with our normal card, we would have big problems. You could do it out of patterned paper, a DSP. You could also do it out of copy paper. You know how you can get the packs of coloured copy paper? No, I haven't got any here right at the moment, but you can get the packs of copy paper. So you could use those if you wanted to. But this is so simple to do. So we will get the cutter. This is cherry cobbler. I don't have it. Actually, it might. Oh, yeah, it is. I don't have it in the real red because I only bought a few packs of this. So you need two of these at 3.5 by 3.5. So 3.5 by 3.5. My fingers are, because I'm so hot, and 3.5. And then you need 2 in the same color at 3 by 3. So do 3 by 3, and then I'll need to cut another piece. Should I cut off a few? I don't think I've got any spare. No. Three by 3. And then with the green, so I've got a feeling this is, it might be Granny Apple Green, I think. You can use any of the greens that you want. You do 2 at 3.5 by 3.5. You can make these smaller or you can make them bigger. It just the smaller you go, the harder the folds are going to be, but you can still do it. I was going to do it and show you, but like I said, I haven't had the time. So we're going to start with the leaves. So these are for the leaves, obviously. So we've only got the 2 to do. You're definitely going to need your bone folder for this, or something to do the edges. So decide which, it's double-sided. I'm just going to do it so that I've got the darker side up. So you're going to fold it into a triangle, like so. And you're going to do this with all of them. And then you're going to fold it again into another triangle. And then you're going to fold it again. And once you get to this point, you realize exactly how hard it would be if you were trying to do it anymore. You do exactly the same with this piece. In fact, you do exactly the same with all the pieces. So you fold it in half, and it doesn't have to be precise. And you fold it in half. And then you fold it in half again. Okay, you can see with copy paper it would be so much easier. So then you have 2 of these. Now what we're going to do, you need to have the double fold to your left, all the pieces that are open like that to the bottom, okay? And then you're going to get whatever you need size pair of scissors. You need something fairly big, and you cut a petal shape. So then when you open that up, don't worry about the white bits that show. That's what you have. Okay, so we'll do the same with this one. Thanks, Fan. So we're just going to cut. If you want to, you can draw a petal shape. It's entirely up to you. Those bits that you cut out are rubbish. But in all honesty, as long as you've got, like a general petal shape, and they're not all going to look exactly the same, that's for sure. Okay, right. So we're going to do the same with all these in a moment. So once we've got this, we're going to fold them up like that, because now we're going to make these creases on the leaves. So the first thing you do is you flick that end piece up, and then you just fold that over and back and over and back. Okay, now I'll admit that I got this wrong several times before I got it right. So you put that up and then you just bring this down like this and zigzag it, and that gives you then, when you open it up, you can see you've got the lines on your leaf. Okay, so then you're going to do it exactly the same thing this way, and you're going to bend up, down, up, down, up, down again if you can, however many times you want to do it. So you end up with a squiggle. See the squiggle? And then you do the same again. So bend up, pull down, up, down, up, and down. All right, and then you undo those. And then when you open it up, you have your full leaf. Okay, so it's really not hard. I'll try and do it a bit close. Let me see if I can bring this in a bit, because I know that this can be a little bit see if I can do it there. So you flick this bit up. Okay, so it's flicked up. Then you flick this down, and then the whole thing back up, so you can see what I'm doing. And then down, and then back up. Okay, so I flick at the top, flick that one up, bring that one down, take it back up, bring it back down, and take it back up. So you get this squiggle. And then you can pull that out, and that gives us the doesn't want to open. Okay, there we go. And then we just open it like that. Once we've done it, we just open it up, and it gives us those markings on the leaves. Okay, so then we want to do these ones. So again, we flip it up and down and up and down, up and down, and that one didn't go up. Up and down and up again there. And then we're going to do the same with this piece. We're going to flick it up and back. This one doesn't want to play the game. And then up and back and up and back. Okay, so, and that gives us our two leaves, which, don't worry about this white showing through the core, because we are going to use our blending brushes and blend it. All right, I'm going to quickly do these, well, as quickly as I possibly can. I'd hoped to have these ready, but it didn't happen. So if you've got a piece of paper, you might like to try and do it as I do. So you don't even have to have 3 by 3, just piece of square paper. Let me go back there. Okay, so once you've got the 3, 1, and 3. And then these are the 2 bigger ones. We've got the 1, it's gone a bit overcast. Let's hope that it's going to rain. We had a little bit of rain earlier, but it really wasn't enough to do anything. And then this one. Actually, this has a bit of a shine to it, this cherry cobbler in the two-tone. All right. So we're going to cut these now and make the petals. This one. Goodness me. Oh, that's very close. 2. Now you'll see this one's not very square, so 3. And 4. Get rid of all the little bits and pieces. And all we do now is we open them up and we just do the squiggly thing. So we can leave that one like that. We can push that up and just go along and do that. Same with this side. Okay, open that up. And then we're going to put those together and do these. And I'm sorry I haven't got these already done, but you know, time got away from me this morning. It's funny though, isn't it, how you cannot see somebody for like 10 years and then they walk into your life and it's as though you only saw each other yesterday. Okay, so that's the first one. You had a big storm yesterday. Oh, much welcome rain. Yes, it would be for the outback. Absolutely. Okay, so it keeps sort of like clouding over and then it decides no, we've stopped teasing them now. We'll go back to sunshine. We're apparently in for a wet Christmas. So that'll be interesting because my son's plan was to set it all up outside under gazebos. And it might not happen that way now. We'll see. You can never guarantee that what they say is going to actually happen, can you? So okay, there's those 2. And we've got the 2 bigger ones. And I must say these are easier to work with. You've got more, to me, there's a bit more maneuverability. So that's that. And although it seems to take ages, in all honesty, you can, once you get going with these, it really doesn't take that long at all. It's another one of those things that you could actually sit and do while you're watching TV if you wanted to. Or you could give them to your husband and partner and just say, Can you just bend those up for me? I'll show you how to do it. So, Suzanne, did I get into trouble from Paul last night for holding you up on the phone? I've done this the other way, I think. Don't think it'll matter. Okay, that's those. And the wider, I mean, you can do the leaves wider or skinnier depending on what you feel like, or you can be like me and whatever your hands allow you to cut, that's what you cut. I have to go with what I can because I can't always guarantee that I've got the strength to go through a whole lot. So I just do what I can. Even this is, a bit tiring on my hands. It's no fun getting old, or older. Is it now? All right. And just open them up. Okay, so there we go. There's all our pieces. Now what we want is, I'm going to take out Real Red and I'm going to take out Mossy Meadow, even though I know Mossy Meadow's darker and Real Red's different. So let me put that back. Take out, where's my red one? Here. Okay. So with the red ones, we're just going to ink up and we're just going to run across the top. You can see it actually makes the leafy bits stand out, or the veins, if you like. Now, also, remember I said to you about the white bits? If you've got white bits, because this cardstock does have a white core, it is going to show through. So you can just, any bits where you can see too much white, you can go over it like that and do the same with all the red ones. So we're going to go over that, and this is, like I said, it's just to bring out those, because with a poinsettia, even the red that you see is leaves. The actual flower is the little tiny bit of yellow in the middle. It's a bit like the bougainvillea. The bougainvillea is the same. You get the red leaves or the coloured leaves, and it's only the little white bit in the centre of a bougainvillea that is actually the flower. Okay. And just, now, you probably do need fairly sharp scissors. I mean, mine probably, they're my old dressmaking scissors, so they're probably not as sharp as they could be. Not now. But, yeah, the sharper they are, the better it'll be. You can see with this one was less leaf-shaped when I cut it. A little bit of white around the edges, so I'll just colour those. You could do this also with your blends if you wanted to. You could colour the edges with your blends. But my theory is, if you've got the brushes out, you might as well use them. All right. So that's the red, and now we'll do the green. Get off of there. So this is Mossy Meadow. So this is the darker one, and I'm using it on the lighter So you can see how it shows up really well on here. It brings out those lines, and then we can just pop around the edges. So not only did I see these as, that one's really bad on the edge. Not only did I see these as like to put on presents instead of the bought bows, I also saw them as like getting a few together. You know, you can put them together like so, put a candle in the middle. They'd make nice, nice candle holders, things like that. You'd need to put the candles in something because you wouldn't want them dripping wax all over it. Oh, sorry, I've come off the, there we go. All right, so now we have all of those done. And now it's just a question of joining them up together. So all I'm going to do, I am going to use glue for this. I've been putting a little bit in there, and then you need a bit on the back of there, and you're probably going to turn your fan off if you've got one going, and then just offset them on top of that one and just hold it for a couple of seconds. Okay. I'm just going to put that on there because I want to squash it. And then the same with these. You start off with the bigger ones, the two bigger ones. You put one inside the other. So you're just going to put that and that. Then you're going to offset them. And just hold it just so that it dries. Then we're going to put, I'll do it this way because otherwise I'm going to have pieces blowing all over the place. That there and this here. And again, find like a gap and put that in there and just hold it in the middle. And then these, we'll just do them individually. A little bit down in there. Pop that one in. So the breeze just came through the window and it was hot. And then a little bit more in there. Don't need a lot. And some on the back of here. And we'll find a spot, maybe there. And we'll pop it in. Oh, you'll have to watch the replay. Just seen I was on. This is something new. Yes, Glenda, this, I've actually cased this from Amanda at Inspired Inken. She did this. So it's not mine. And I haven't really changed anything to be able to say it is. So definitely. And there's the poinsettia. Now we need to put something in the middle. So if you really wanted to, you could cut tiny, tiny little pieces, like bits of paper, or you could, I like these in here, but I also think just your natural rhinestones would also look good if you could find them. So I've been putting 5 in the middle, only because I like odd numbers. Where's my rhinestones? There they are. Look at that. So I could put those in, or I can just put the rhinestones in. This one here, it has these in the center. So it has these little ones there, and I haven't done the rhinestones yet, so how I might do the rhinestones and just use the different sizes and see. So I've been putting 4 of the bigger ones, so just popping them into the center. If you can get them off your fingers. So that's 1. Actually, these aren't quite as big as the others. 2. Oh, goodness. Don't want to stay. All right, we'll stay there then. 3. Actually, I'm going to use all the same size, I think, in this one because they're not as big. 4, and then pop 1 in the middle, which then gives us that little center. You could add more or less, it's up to you. But that then gives us that center. Okay, so that is our flower. Is this today's bag? No. This is our bag, and you can pop your flower onto the front of your bag if you want to, of course. So let me take that down a bit because it's, there we go, that's a bit better. That's probably too much. There we go, to about there, yeah. Okay, your favorite gem, Sue? Yes, yes it was. Okay, so that is the bag, and like I said, I haven't stuck these down because I'm not really sure yet which way I want to go with them, but I've made them and I want to use them. I've got some gifts that I have to give, so yeah, we'll see how I go. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please do pop over and have a look at Amanda's stuff if you get a chance. She loves a chat. I think she calls it coffee and chat. She loves a chat, but yeah, she's really, really nice. Okay, so I've done 3 of that color now, and I've done a yellow. And on hers, she'll show you one in blue as well, which looks really sweet. As you can see, I've actually cut the pieces ready to do blue. So I'll be doing that at some stage soon. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. You like the bag? It is quite cute, and like the gusset is a reasonable size. So there's a 2.5-inch space at the bottom, so you can put some nice smelly stuff in there. Some like the reed diffusers and all that sort of stuff. It's not a tiny bag that you can't do anything with, and it's just 2 pieces of A4 cardstock, and then you've got these 2 small pieces here, and it's really not hard at all to put together. All right, so I'll just put that out of the way. I'll come back up to the top. Now you'll see all my hair's all stuck to me because it's horrible. There we go. Yeah, it's really hard to make your hair do anything nice in this weather. Yeah, so I'll be back to normal tomorrow. I will be back on at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and I'll find something else to show you. I'm not sure what yet, but I just couldn't resist this one when I saw it. She only did it back, I think, on Friday, maybe even Saturday. So I really wanted to case it straight away. So there we go. All right, I will see everybody tomorrow morning. I'm now going to go and have a cold drink, and then I've got to go back out shopping. So yay me. Thank you so much, Sue. Thanks, Daphne. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Bye for now.